Hello, my crafty friends. This is Michelle, the Southern Shell, and I am here to share with you some easy Valentine decor on a budget. Welcome to the Lover's Lane collaboration. Let's meet our hosts. We have Donna with Caroline's Daughter, Monica with Up All Night DIY, and Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Links to their channel will be in my description box below, along with a playlist of the other creators joining this collaboration. Let's hop right on in to project number 1. Guys, this is a recycle craft from Christmas.
So for this one, I have a bunch of fabric that was given to me. And then I have just some different ribbons and laces and just a hodgepodge of stuff I pulled out that have the matching colors to that Love You S'more sign. Now I made that in October for the 12 days of Christmas, but I don't normally use s'mores in Christmas, so I'm going to use my heat gun and take off that Christmas swag up at the top there and leave the rest. Now this material and stuff match the s'more sign very well. So I'm going to take 3 hearts here. They're 3-inch hearts, and I've had them in my stash for a little over a year now. And I'm actually going to cut out 3 of the hearts on 3 different color fabrics that will match my s'more board. So I've got a little bit of a burgundy, a bit of a rust color, and that cream color, and I'm just going to cut little sections of my material. The muslin needed pressed a little bit, so I just used my little Cricut mini press. And now I'm just going to lay these pieces down on top of each other so I have a double layer. I'm going to put the heart on there, and I'm just going to come in with a pen and draw the heart shape around the outside of my heart there. So I wanted a little bigger than that heart. So that worked out great. I'm going to come in with my pinking shears and I'm going to cut along that line that I drew around my heart. Once those were all cut out, I used my Mod Podge on those hearts, and I put a good coat of Mod Podge all over the front of these hearts, all 3 of them, let it dry, and then put a nice coat along the back of it as well. Those hearts were dry. I'm coming in with my pieces and I'm placing them on the wood hearts that are dried with the Mod Podge. And I'm going to come in with my little mini heat press here, my little mini Cricut, and I'm going to iron that material down onto my wooden heart. Now I put both sides on, the front and the back, just in case it heated that wood piece up enough where it was going to activate it on the bottom. I wanted it to go ahead and be right on there. And I'm just using a piece of mulberry paper here. It's just protecting my iron and protecting that fabric. Once that was done, I can see here it attached well to that wooden heart, and I'm able to move on to the next ones. Once those were all dry all the way around, I came back in with my pinking shears and cut it right around that edge of that fabric and that wooden heart, and it gave me the perfect cut all the way around, giving me a little bit of detail, decorative edging on my wooden fabric heart. Came in with some faux leather strap, and I have gotten this off of Temu several years ago, and it is the perfect width to go along the edge of that wooden heart. So what I'm doing is using my hot glue gun and that faux leather in a cream color, and I'm lining the edge all the way around on this wooden heart. And I'm going to do it on all 3 of them until I get them all wrapped and have a hanging strand to hang them with coming out the top. I'm just going to come in and make sure that's open so I can see the wooden heart. Pull that little bit of faux leather all the way around, nice and taut against that wooden heart, and then I will push in the fabric up and around and making sure it all is connected. It's all pulled around. You want to make sure you've got a nice layer there and tuck it right on down in to where that heart starts, and then I'm going to pull it out about 8 inches and cut it off. And I'm going to do the same with all 3 hearts. Now I have my little bow maker here, and I'm just laying down a piece of twine, and I'm going to come in with some different lace and ribbons that actually match the colors of my sign and my hearts. So I have some wide crocheted ribbon there. This ribbon is off of an old skirt that it had tore, and I just picked it apart. So there's that, and that matches those colors really nice. And then some plain cream cotton ribbon here, and I just cut them all about the same size. So now I'm just going to come in, I'm going to lay these down, just crisscrossing them, giving them nice and shabby looks here, layering them up because of the colors and their length. This will be perfect. Little piece here is one I've had in my stash for a long time, and it is just the same colors but glittery. And I'm going to add some twine in there, and then I'm going to bring up my pieces and tie it nice and tight, and then I'm going to wrap it around the back and tie it again nice and tight. I wanted to go ahead and get that glued on top, but I wanted to add some more of that red ribbon that I had at the top for the hanger. So I just pulled a little bit of that out, and I am going to glue that down because there's no way I can get it stuck in there because I've already tied it nice and tight. So I just messed with it and decided the best way to do this is to just glue it down and glue the rest of the bow right on top of it. So here we go. I'm just going to lay a nice little hot some glue there and squish it right on down into that hot glue. Now I'm just going to lay some more down there, nice and thick. And I'm going to take the new bow, the new little shabby bow that I made, and I'm going to lay that right into that hot glue and press that hanger up against that back side so it's all attached. Now just fluff, fluff, fluff. Y'all who have watched me for a while, you know I'm a crafter that crafts by the seat of her pants. And looking at this, I'm like, it needs some more of that red. So I'm coming in with another piece of that red ribbon, twisting it in the center, laying some glue down right up the edge where that ribbon meets, and poking it right on in there with my Cricut tweezers. And that will give me some more of that red that I forgot to add into that shabby bow to begin with. So now I'm just going to come in and trim off those plain ribbons, not the crocheted ones, because if I did the crocheted, they're going to fray. So I'm going to leave those just like they are and trim off any of the others that are just a bit too long. Wanting something to go over the center of that bow there, I'm taking a little tiny wooden heart, and I have my distressed oxide ink in Rusty Hinge. Perfect color, look at that. And I'm just going to lay that right on down there, give a little color to that, and that heart now matches that board perfectly. I'm just going to dab some hot glue in there and add that little heart to the top of my bow. I made 3 similar bows for my small little hearts here, and I just added a little bit of that peach tulle in there with it instead of the bigger crocheted ribbon because these are smaller. So I'm just going to hot glue those to the center of the. Once those were glued on down there, I took out some more of my little mini hearts. I took out 9 of them so I can put 3 on each heart and dip them in that same Rusty Hinge distressed oxide ink. Now easy peasy, I'm going to come in with my hot glue gun again and put 3 little dots on a heart, and I am going to lay down those tiny hearts going in different directions on the front of each one of these. Those were all glued down. I hit them with my heat tool and made sure they didn't have any hot glue strings anywhere. So now I wanted to put some of that tulle at the top, crafting by the seat of my pants, guys. So I just took a piece of my tulle and cut it. Didn't want to worry about anything there. And I'm going to open it up and twist it and stick it in that bow, just like I did the red ribbon. After those were done, I came into the back side. I measured in about 1.5 inches and right in the center, 1.5 inches on both sides, and then right in the center, and marked it. I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to lay that down, and I want to make sure that the heart is hanging straight so it will lay down. When it hangs, the heart will be in the front, and so I'm just checking that there, and then I'm going to lay it down and lay that faux leather right on in to that hot glue and then press it down in there and let it set. I'm going to do that with each of my hearts. Finish this off, I went ahead and took a piece of ribbon along the back side and covered up where those ribbons were hot glued down.
Let's go ahead and hop into project number 2. This one was so fun and so easy to do. I can't wait to share.
Right, so I have some more fabric here from my stash. And this is actually fabric that were samples at like Joann's, and they're upholstery samples. They are very thick and very good quality, and these are perfect if you can get a hold of some of these sample pieces. But these were given to me. I drew along the outside of that heart, and now I'm going to come in and I'm going to just cut a chunk out. Get that cut down to a more manageable size, I come in with my pinking shears and I'm going to cut all the way around this heart again, but outside that line that I drew. So just very similar to what I did on the hearts in the first project, but on a much larger scale. The wooden heart, I believe I got from Walmart, so it's like $1.07. Well, this is a 12-inch one, but you can do any size with this, but I wanted a nice big size. So I'm going to keep the wooden piece as the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut straight down to that drawing line. And I'm going to come in and do some little cutouts all around the edge from the outside up to that line that I've drawn around my heart. This is going to help me fold these pieces up and around when I glue it on the back. And there you have it. You can see all my little notches. And so I'm going to come in and start hot gluing this all the way around my heart. I'm going to go ahead and start right here at the top, and I'm going to use my little folder here, and I'm going to that little spatula is going to pull that fabric up, and it's going to lay it right on down along that wooden heart. And if you can see, I'm actually going to, it's going to pull up right where I drew that line. So I'm going to add that hot glue there and make sure that line is lined up to the wooden heart, and then I'm going to lay that fabric right on down to that wood heart, and I'm going to go all the way around both sides, and I'm going to leave the bottom open. Now I'm going to show you here, I'm just adding that glue, and then I'm going to snip that little piece, that little triangle piece off, but I'm going to line up that line that I drew and pull that right on over the edge of that heart. And this is going to give me enough room on the opposite side, on the front side, where I can stuff some fluff in there. So I'm lining that up, folding it over, and that one I needed to cut a little more, little notch out of it going around that corner, so I just did it now. So I took a Walmart pillow and I cut it open and used the stuffing from inside that, and I'm just coming in and stuffing my pillow wall plaque, a pillow wall plaque. That's interesting. And I'm just going to stuff that, and I want this heart to be nice and firm and tight all the way around. So I'm just continuing to come in with some of that pillow stuffing and push it on in nice and tight all into all of the curves of this heart. I came to the bottom, I flipped it over, and I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to glue one side down so that I can have it nice and tight on that edge before I finish stuffing this heart. I'm just taking a very large paint stick here with a long handle and stuffing that fluff clear up in there, making sure my edges are nice and tight. And then I'm going to finish it off, and then I'll flip it over and glue it shut. Here is the last little bit right there on that tip. We're just going to take one more little handful there and stuff it right on in, and let's finish this off. There we go. Now we're just going to take those last two pieces and nice and tight, we're going to wrap them up and over our wooden heart. And there we have it. That is all nice and tight and stuffed, and it is beautiful, but that back's not so pretty. So I cut out another piece of the material of that's faux suede, and that fits perfectly over this heart. So I'm going to iron it first because it is a little bit wrinkly. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that onto the back. But before I do, I wanted to add some lace and some ribbon across this. So I have that crocheted lace there, and it is thick. This is not a Dollar Tree one. It is thicker than the Dollar Tree one. And so I just lined it up on one side, took it down across that heart, and glued it on both sides. I'm going to do this before I put that backing on to cover it all up. I have this beautiful brown eyelash trim and this cream. And I took a length of both of those. The brown one is very long pieces, and then this one is definitely shorter and beautiful, and it has a little bit of sparkle to it. I'm just going to go ahead and lay it across that center of that crochet. I'm going to twist it a little bit so they're intertwined. That cream one is from Recollections. And I'm just going to lay it down there and hot glue that right on the back of my heart. Now we can come on in with that piece that I cut and lay it right over the back and hot glue it down all the way around, just on those corners. I don't need the glue anyplace else. So we're not going to have any glue stripes or ridges or anything on that wood heart that's going to show this hot glue. Before I did that, I wanted to put a hanger on it. So I have this thin burlap ribbon that's in the same color as that heart. And I'm just doing a little awareness ribbon, but I'm gluing it at the bottom on the back side of this heart so that I can hang it up. Now I can finish gluing this all the way around. And that's all there is to it. Now, doesn't that back look better? Oh yeah, we're just going to finish it off here, put some right on up and around, and there we have it. Let's take a look at what this one looks like. I just love the way this one turned out. Oh my goodness, I think it's beautiful. What do you guys think about this one? It was so simple to do, but it's so elegant. And guys, this is just a gentle reminder that this is a collaboration. We have our three lovely hosts and the playlist listed in my description box below. So don't forget to give them a check and give them some love. Thanks y'all for watching. Let's go ahead and jump in to the next project. It's time to vamp up my 1800s candle box for Valentine's Day. Well, at least the season of love. Don't blink, this one's quick. And our last project is simple and sweet. Now, don't blink, you'll miss it. I'm taking that same small heart and I'm tracing it on the back of some beautiful fabrics out of my stash. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? I'm making 3 of these, and then I have some burgundy I'll pull in and make 2 out of. And I realized that my fabric was upside down, and so I turned it over, and I needed to make sure that my fabric was facing upright and traced it on the back again. So make sure if you have directional fabric that it is facing up while you draw your hearts on there. Once those were drawn on, I just came in and I cut around the outside with my pinking shears here. And I'm just coming up to the line where I drew around that. So these are going to be just the size of my hearts that I traced. And I'm going to come right along and just trim these all out with my pinking shears. Here you have them all cut out, and now I'm just going to take them apart and I'm going to hot glue these together. You can see where I drew the other heart on the other side there, but all I did is put hot glue all the way around the top side and down most of the sides so that I can come in at the bottom and put some pillow stuffing in there. And I did that to all 5 of my hearts. Once those were all done, I have my skewer sticks. I have 5 of them, and I have some pillow stuffing. And I took my antique wax and wiped my skewer sticks down and let them dry. Now I'm just coming in with a little bit of pillow stuffing
And I am going to now start sealing up the rest of this heart. So I'm going to come down on the sides. I'm still going to leave my bottom open. And then I'm going to come in with my skewer stick after that's nice and stuffed. I'm going to cut them down at different lengths. I'm going to go ahead and take my first one, put some hot glue on the end that I just cut so that the pointy end is at the bottom. And I'm going to stick that into my heart, glue it into the fluff, and then finish hot gluing that totally closed around that skewer stick. I did that with all 5 of my hearts, and now I can take each one of these and stick them in my 1800s candle box, just like I did my Christmas trees over Christmas.
Well, y'all, there you have it. There's my Love You S'more upgrade to the beautiful little Valentine. And of course, my 1800s candle box with my beautiful heart skewers in it. Oh my gosh, that turned out adorable. I love those colors. And then the big heart hack pillow. Now that can be hung on the wall. I did go ahead and attach that hanger. So that would be beautiful on a wall. You could tuck photos in there if you wanted to and hang it up. I think that turned out beautiful too. And guys, I mean, this cost me less than $1.25 to make because of the heart. That's all I had to really pay for was that heart piece. And of course, the skewers is all I had to pay for these. Well, glue and the pillow I used for the stuffing. But that was very inexpensive to make. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Your time is precious and I know it. If you've not subscribed, I hope you will consider doing so now by hitting that subscribe button. If you want to know when my latest video has gone live, hit that bell notification and YouTube should notify you. As always, guys, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.